Hello there, this is Sword with Audiosmith, and today we're doing a review of the Simgot EW200. Now, Simgot did send me this unit in for review, but as always, all thoughts and opinions are my own. Now, audio is extremely subjective, and what I hear, you may not. And we don't always have to agree on everything, and that's okay. As always, there will be a link in the description down below for my written review over at audionotions.com. And without further ado, let's get into the review. Let's start with the build, fit, and accessories of the EW200. The EW200 comes in an all-metal shell, which is quite nice. It comes with a fairly decent cable, which I quite like. That being said, if you do use the chin slider, it's not the best chin slider that I've seen on a cable, and it comes loose quite easily. I don't personally use chin sliders, but if you do, I would maybe look into getting a different cable to replace this one if that's something that you need on your IEMs. With that metal design, there are a couple issues. One, they are fingerprint magnets. And two, during longer listening sessions, I do notice condensation buildup. And I have had once where there has been a slight imbalance due to the condensation buildup. If you live in a humid environment, that may or may not be an issue all the time. I can't say. I'm in a fairly dry environment here. As for accessories, it's fairly minimalistic for the package. You get a little pouch to hold them in and a set of ear tips. It's nothing spectacular, but it's okay at this price range, I think. I would have liked to see a hard case so that I can safely put them in and throw them into my bag on my way to work and just take them out on the go a bit easier. Overall, fit has been quite good. I can wear them for long periods and I don't really have any issues. Now for the sound quality of the EW200, these are using a single 10mm dynamic driver. They are priced at $40, by the way. They seem to be quite competent. And if you are looking for more of a bright tuning, I think these will suit you pretty well. For the bass, I find that the bass lacks a little bit of quantity that I'm looking for. There's not really a whole lot of punch or rumble or slam going on here, but it sits comfortably in the mix. As for the mids, the lower mids at first for me were a little bit not there. They were a little bit recessed. After playing around with tips, I eventually settled on the Dunu sound and stage tips, and I find that male vocals are a bit more present, as well as guitars and that now, which is nice. The upper mids are a little energetic for me. After long listening sessions, I do find that there's a little bit of fatigue going on. That's more of an issue with me, though. I've talked to a bunch of people who have used this set, and they don't find it fatiguing or sibilant. And speaking of sibilant, the treble area. It is quite refined, and most of my tracks play very well on, but there are some tracks where there's quite a bit of sibilance, and it's just a little too much for me at times. As for the technicalities on the EW200, I find, like I said previously, the driver doesn't really have any issues with congestion on busier tracks or any bass bleed or anything like that. They are fairly dynamic. That being said, the soundstage is a little bit intimate and can be kind of claustrophobic at times for me, as well as the imaging I find to be a little bit lackluster. That would be kind of what I would say would be its weak point. For gaming performance, I wasn't really a big fan of the EW200 in competitive games or immersive games. I found that in competitive games, the lack of imaging just didn't reveal audio cues, and like directional sense just wasn't that great with them. And then with immersive games, I found that that claustrophobic kind of soundstage and the lack of low end kind of made it feel kind of like a blunted experience. I never really felt myself really get immersed into the world. I never felt those impacts with boss battles. It kind of all felt a little blunt. As for a quick comparison, soon after the EW200 came in, I received the TRN Conch. And the Conch being $4 cheaper at regular price, I think overall is a much better package, especially if you don't have a bunch of IEMs or accessories already. It comes with a hard case, it comes with a modular cable, which can be seen as a pro or a con, depending how well it lasts. It comes with tuning nozzles, and it comes with multiple sets of ear tips, which is quite handy. Overall, the accessory package is quite a bit nicer, and for my preference, it's a bit smoother, and it doesn't have as much upper, mid, or treble energy, which makes it more my preference, but it doesn't necessarily mean it'll be more your preference. Overall, the Simgot EW200 isn't fully for me, and I find other IEMs in this price range to lean more towards my preferences. That being said, if you are looking for a brightly tuned IEM, I could see this being quite favorable in that regards, as it does that job quite nicely. If you are interested in purchasing the Simgot EW200, I will have the purchase links down below, and thank you for watching this review. Peace.